or Haitian? Dad, don't touch. Got it?
Tara here too?
Is everybody mad at me for saving all these seats?
I thought this guy. have to get up here. Oh, you can set up. Except I don't know if you want to. Tell me what you want to do. That's all.
Save this, but
Not yet. We'll watch it in a little bit, okay? Oh, kitty ears? Oh, how cute!
I don't have no idea.
Oh, yeah? I can see it. He got a bat that I think Teal had a blade right on his shoulder, right on the leg, and then they didn't stick the fruit.
You're not taking
have this ready because I'm afraid of this video camera being right here.
Good evening. As Vice President of the senior class, I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Loogootee High School class of 2025. The long 13-year countdown has come to an end, and we are extremely grateful for the opportunity to share this momentous occasion with our closest friends and family. At this time, I would like to start by asking everyone to please silence your cell phones for the remainder of the ceremony. The Loogootee High School class of 2025 would appreciate it if everyone would please join us in recognizing the faculty, administration, and school board of the Loogootee schools, which have always gone above and beyond while guiding us on this amazing journey. Tonight, the Loogootee High School Choir will begin our program with the National Anthem, which will be followed by this evening's musical selection, the prayer. At this time, please stand, and gentlemen, remove your hats for the singing of our National Anthem.
Help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way.
Where we'll be safe.
be a friend, just like every child. Need to find a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be saved. You're my favorite day, I am chased by
This year, the class of 2025 has selected the motto, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." This evening's speakers have just selected a word from our class motto as the basis for their speech. Our first speaker this morning is class valedictorian Riken Chandler, who has chosen to speak on the word wish.
Good evening. On behalf of the class of 2025, I would like to begin by thanking the proud friends and family for attending tonight's graduation ceremony. As a class valedictorian, I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who has helped me along this journey and those who have been there for me throughout my high school career. I would also like to thank the wonderful teachers and staff that have pushed me to achieve this great honor. And finally, to the class of 2025, thank you for showing me what an amazing high school experience looks like and providing me with all the support I could ever need. From our class motto, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them," I chose to focus on the word wish. Throughout my life, I've had numerous wishes, whether it be in kindergarten when I was wishing for a monster truck, or present day when I'm wishing college tuition wasn't so expensive. Wishes have guided my life. They've become my goals and aspirations. Looking back now, becoming a valedictorian was once a wish. What I've come to realize about wishes is that the harder they seem to achieve, the more I strive to reach them. As a freshman in high school, making blue chip all conference or becoming a valedictorian seemed almost impossible. But being as I'm standing in front of all of you, giving this speech, and having made all conference my sophomore year, I want to tell you that nothing is impossible. And as long as you're willing to work for them, wishes will come true. So, seniors, I encourage you to reach for the stars in all of your wishes. Standing here in front of all of you, reminiscing on those good old days, it's hard not to wish I could go back to second grade in Miss Mathias's class to play checkers with Wade again, or go back to playing soccer with all the MC kickers. I wish I had more time to listen to Miss Bukta read us stories. I wish I could go back to Miss Bateman's third grade to build another volcano. I wish I could see Mr. Whitney dress up as Julius Caesar again, or listen to Mr. Yoder read us Macbeth just one more time. I wish I could go back to a time less worrisome than now, a time when all we cared about was when we were getting out for recess. However, we all know we cannot go back to the past. It's easy to try and stay in the past and live in the nostalgia of what once was. But, class of 2025, We have so much ahead of us. Soon, all of us will be moving on, whether it be going to college or joining the workforce. We all will be moving on in some way. So I encourage you not to live in the past, but to embrace the challenges that moving on will create. When times get tough, think back to something like Miss Wagner's brownies to brighten your mood. But don't relish in the past for too long. Moving on will be difficult, and there will likely be challenges along the way. However, I have no doubt that we can overcome them. Having had the pleasure of growing and learning besides each of you, you have given me the utmost confidence in the future of this class. So class of 2025, I know I do not have to wish for a successful future for all of you, because I know each of you can and will make your own wishes come true. Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is class valedictorian Addison Loniger, who has chosen to speak on the word no.
Good evening, everyone. Teachers, staff, family, friends, and of course, the class of 2025. It is an honor to stand up here tonight as one of your valedictorians. Honestly, it's kind of surreal. We've pictured this day for years, this exact moment, and now it's finally here. It feels like a mix of excitement, disbelief, and maybe a little bit of, wait, is this really happening? While I was thinking about what to say, I kept coming back to our class motto. There's one word from it that kept sticking in my head, a simple one, no. When we first started high school, let's be honest, we didn't know much. Most of us didn't know where anything was. We didn't know how to survive finals week or juggle 5 different deadlines. We didn't know how to manage group projects or how to ask for help when we really needed it. A lot of us didn't even know who we were yet. But here's the thing, we did know we were here to figure it out. We came in knowing that part. We showed up ready to learn, to grow, to try and make sense of things, even if we didn't have a clue where to start. And looking back now, we've come a long way. Sure, we've learned the usual stuff, how to write a thesis, solve for X, memorize historical dates, and cram an entire unit into one night. But we've learned a lot that doesn't come from textbooks. We got to know ourselves. We figured out what motivates us, what stresses us out, what we're passionate about, and where we want to go. We discovered how we handle pressure, how we bounce back from setbacks, and what kind of people we want to be. We got to know each other too. We learned how to work together, how to actually listen, how to disagree respectfully, or at least try to. We laughed a lot, some of us have cried, and through it all, we grew closer, even if we didn't always realize it in the moment. That word, no, isn't just about facts or getting the right answer. It's about understanding, curiosity, and connection. It's about being aware of the people around us, of what matters, and of ourselves. And the best part, knowing isn't something that ends here. It's not like, congrats, you've learned everything, you're done. Whether we're heading off to college, into the workforce, taking a gap year, or figuring it out as we go, we're all still learning, always. Because real knowing isn't about pretending to have it all figured out. It's about being okay with not having all the answers. It's saying, I don't know that yet, but I want to. It's staying curious, open, honest, willing to grow, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. We know what we've been through. We know the late nights, the tough moments, the wins that felt huge, and the ones that went unnoticed. We know what it took to get here, And even if the road ahead looks uncertain, we know we're ready. Maybe not for everything, but for the next step, and the one after that. We're ready to keep asking questions, to keep showing up, to keep learning and failing and trying again. We're ready to keep becoming who we're meant to be. So to the teachers who pushed us, to the friends who stuck by us, to the families who supported us, thank you. And to the class of 2025, congratulations. We really did it. And more than anything else, we know we're just getting started. Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is class salutatorian Ashley Green, who has chosen to speak on the word days.
Good evening, fellow graduates, faculty, friends, and family. I am filled with gratitude and honor to stand before you today as the salutatorian of the graduating class of 2025. Tonight, I have chosen to speak on the word days from our senior motto because it holds so much meaning. It reflects on the days we have already had, how those days brought us to this moment, and how they lead us into the days that are still ahead. We have spent 2,340 days together, from kindergarten through today. That is a lot of mornings, a lot of laughter, a lot of classes, and a lot of homework. But more importantly, it is a lot of memories. We have grown up together side by side, from the very first field trip to the apple orchard in kindergarten, to our final senior trip together in Washington, D.C. and New York. We have shared the milestones that have helped shape who we are, like winning tennis and volleyball sectionals, winning basketball regional, winning blue chip conference in golf and softball, placing in track and cross country meets, being surrounded by our best friends at prom, and performing our best at band concerts and musicals. Along the way, we've also shared the last day at elementary school, where it all began. The last school bus ride, the last lunch in the cafeteria, and finally, the last walk down the LHS hallways, where we made a lifetime of memories for 4 years. All of those moments, whether we realized it or not, were preparing us for this day. As we stand here now, we know that our journey at Loogootee Community Schools has shaped us in ways we can't fully put into words. We've learned not just from books and teachers, but from one another. We've learned about resilience, community, working together, working hard for what we want, and most importantly, about being there for each other. Once we leave here tonight, we will each take a different path into the future. For some, it will be college, and others, the workforce. And even though our futures may look very different, we will always share one thing. We're all members of the class of 2025. This connection, this shared experience, is something no one can take from us. Today, graduation is not only the end of our days at Loogootee Community Schools, but it also marks a new beginning filled with endless possibilities. To the class of 2025, congratulations. And remember that no matter where life takes us, the days ahead will be ours to shape, just as we shape these last 2,340. Thank you, and best of luck in all you choose to do.
At this time, we invite you to enjoy the slide presentation created as a special tribute to the Loogootee High School class of 2025. Following the slide presentation, the Loogootee High School Band will entertain us with their beautiful rendition of the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
gotta find the people that want to make you feel alright. The kind you wanna stay up with all night. You gotta find the people, the ones that make you feel whole. They won't leave your side when you lose control. The ones that don't let you lose your soul. You gotta find the people, the ones that get the joke. You understand what you say for a word is true. You gotta find the people who put the needle in the groove. When you together, they got nothing. When you together, they got nothing to lose. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone. Everybody needs help. You gotta find people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find people that'll call your bluff, who ride along when the road is rough. You gotta find people, the ones that make you feel equal. They pick you up and don't put you down. Help you find your way in the lost and found. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone. Everybody needs help. You gotta find the people that you find yourself. The ones that understand you, the ones that lend a hand you, the ones that don't demand anything from you. You gotta find the people, the ones that make you feel alright, that tell you the truth and wish you well. You gotta find the people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find the people, then you'll find yourself.
Time
hands in my hand, and they unclare, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the diary, the sun in my head, the words that you cannot find.
Reaching for something in the distance, so close to all the saints, really showing the shadows.
Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drink yourself in words and hope. Today is when your work begins.
The rest is still undone.
I'm grateful for this. Sometimes my fights outside the lines. Whoa, and we've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. No, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find.
Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. British your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin.
No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life without a final thing. Today is when it begins.
The rest is still undone.
The rest is still untold. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find.
Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. British your inhibitions.
Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drink yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with no final thing. Today is when your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drink yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is when your book begins.
The rest is still undone.
The rest is still unwritten.
If you ever grow up, there's one thing you'll find. Most people that you meet are just about out there, man. They try to tell you how to live. They try to tell you how to die. They tell you don't get too low, but don't get too high. The best thing you can do is don't listen to crows. Walk on to your own feet and keep them on their toes. Keep them on their toes, your business out of sight. Make them look left if you're gonna hang a right. If the pot's hot, don't let them see your hand. Make them gotta know it, they wouldn't understand. The best thing you can do when the ignorance shows is walk on to your own feet. Keep them on your toes. If you never grow up, you gonna stay that way. 'Cause you can't learn what you ain't gotta change. Just listen to your heart, listen to the radio. same. Now I don't have to tell it, 'cause you already know. Walk on to your own beat and keep 'em on their toes. Keep 'em on their toes, your business out of sight. Make 'em look left if you're gonna hang right. If the pot's hot, don't let 'em see your hand. Make 'em gotta know what they wouldn't understand. The best thing you can do when the ignorance shows is walk on to your own beat and keep 'em on their toes. I don't have to tell you, 'cause y'all already know. Walk on to your own feet and keep 'em on their toes.
This is where the chapter ends. Time has come for letting go. The hardest part is when you know all of these are ending, but I'll always remember. Now the pages turn, the stories we will write.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here and attending Loogootee High School Class of 2025 graduation ceremony. It is so incredible to see so many family, friends here to support and celebrate the 63 seniors. I would first like to acknowledge Dr. Harmon, Mrs. Christmas, and the school board for having a vision and creating a school system that is dedicated to providing a quality educational experience where students have a variety of opportunities to pursue their interests. Teachers, you have put your heart and soul into these young students in front of us, from kindergarten all the way through, just like what Riken was talking about in his speech, all the different memories of every teacher has had an impact. So thank you to all of the teachers. A special thank you to Mrs. Hawkins, Mrs. Van Hoy, and Mrs. Tedrow for all of their work to make their senior year and tonight's ceremony very special. Parents, you have done an amazing job. Like I talked at the senior awards the other night, this is an amazing class with great students, great people. Enjoy the time with your family and celebrate. This class has had a lot of accomplishments in the arts, in athletics, and in academics. They have entertained us with their musical performances, concerts, and pep band music during basketball games. They have won gold medals at group and individual band and choir competitions. They have had great success in their athletic endeavors. They have been leaders and role models to their peers in their extracurricular activities. During their high school years, many have expanded their high school experience by participating in Twin Rivers' program of cosmetology, health careers, business, and welding. Through internships, they have learned about the workplace and their future careers in areas such as agriculture, machining, business, and the health field. Many opted to be a cadet teacher to assist teachers and work with students. Additionally, we added the Martin County CEO program, and many of the seniors participated and created their own businesses. And we had our first student participate as an upskill apprentice. If you participated in Twin Rivers internship, cadet teaching, CEO, or upskills, please stand. Congratulations to these students who are standing before me for all of the experiences you did in these opportunities. These experiences help to shape you in your future. Thank you to the businesses that mentored these students. Because of your guidance, they gain life skills that will help them be ready for their next steps in life. Thank you, students. They have also excelled in the classroom. If you are wearing a cord or a stole, please stand. Among those standing, 16 wear red because they signify they are graduating with an academic honors diploma. 8 wear blue to signify a technical honors diploma. 5 will graduate with both an academic and technical honors diploma. The top 10 students wear green. 12 students wear white, showing that they graduate with the Indiana College Core Certificate, which means that they have already completed 30 or more college credit hours, which puts them starting in their sophomore year of college. 10 students wear gold to signify that they maintained a 3.5 GPA while earning the Indiana College Core Certificate. 14 wear white stoles because they're a member of Beta Club, and the CEO program recently presented stoles to the 5 seniors that participated and began their own business. Congratulations to all of you for those rigorous expectations. At this time, I would like to recognize the top 10 students of the class of 2025. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Valedictorian Riken Chandler. Valedictorian Addison Lonecker. Salutatorian Ashley Green. Brianna Eckerly. Brianna Corder. Hannah Venters. Luke Guy. Ella Parker. Keisha Wilcoxon. And Wade Walton. Congratulations to the academic elite students. Okay. I'm going to go off script for just 30 seconds. When the slideshow was going across, I love the slideshows. It brings up all kinds of memories, and certain memories popped in my head of this class. One memory of this class was I had not driven a midbus for a couple of years, and I got to drive Brianna Corder and Wade Walton, and we made it safely to North Davies and home, and they trusted me the whole way. I scared them a little bit because I couldn't find how to turn the flashers on for a moment, but we made it. I do remember a couple of shenanigans that may have happened in Mr. Mayfield's class that I had to call a couple of parents and meet with a couple of people about that. I will never forget that. I remember a particular young man who likes to holler at me across the cafeteria wherever he is eating his lunch and say, "Hey, Dr. Harrison." So I enjoy that young man immensely and get to hear about his day. I have another young man that likes to give me a hard time about the water-only policy and wants to bring his marathon cups to school. And I have to remind him that it's water only. All of you have been absolutely wonderful. You have given me so many memories. I remember comforting a couple of you and a couple of moments of tears here and there. Thank you for trusting me with those emotions. And it's been fun getting to hear about your future plans. Thank you for being so open and welcoming to me. I have enjoyed this class. You are great people. Okay. So back to the speech. Congratulations to all of you for all of your accomplishments. Enjoy today. Enjoy your tomorrows. Find joy in every day going forward. Remember to always be kind each and every day in each and every interaction you have with others, and always be classy. Best of luck to all of you as you take on your new adventures. Congratulations to the class of 2025.
At this time, would row 1 please stand? Tony Lavelle Buckhoy. Madison Faith Loniger. Madison May Strange. Riken Lynn Chandler. Ashley Marie Green. Ava Nicole Furman. Carson Andrew Birch. Aniston Kinsley Amon. Olivia Page Arthur. Cora Lynn Osbrooks. Jackson Scott Bauer. Landon John Bowling. Avery Nicole Brock. Britta Sue Browder. Zoe Gail Burris. Amber Serenity Cagle. Landon Lee Campbell. Abigail Brooke Chapman. Olivia Ann Christmas. Brianna Nicole Porter. Pierce Lee Davis. Canton Casey Deerwester. Brianna Grace Eckerly. Noah Robert Esch. Judea Grace Farhar. Gunnar Lee Fox. Emily Alexis Fries. Isabel May Gingrich. Evie Carlene Goldsberry. Luke Jacob Guy. Jayla Ashton Heldman. Miley K. Hembry. Trevin Wayne Curtis. Kirsten Grace Hupp. Emma Claire Lingenfelter. Victoria Mercedes Long. Landon Wade Mathias. Adriana Lee Miley. Daniel Allen Miller. Dylan Michael Norris. Ella Marie Parker. Tanner Jacob Phillips. Brock Nicholas Rahill. Luke James Roark. Adeline Grace Sargent. Joseph Ramsey Smith. Isaac Nathaniel Tarr. Xavier Philip Todd. Hannah Ray Venters. Cohen Don Wagner. Madison Ann Wagner. Marin Elizabeth Walters. Wade Andrew Walton. Macy Renee Wathen. Ruger Anthony Wathen. Keisha Grace Wilcoxon. Luke Michael Williams. Kylie Grace Wolgamuth. Dr. Harmon, I now present to you the Loogootee High School class of 2025.
Thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the Loogootee Community School Board of School Trustees, as well as thank them for their hard work, dedication, and support with regard to the educational programs offered here at Loogootee High School. School board positions can be both difficult and rewarding. The primary mission of school boards throughout the state, as determined by Indiana law, is the development of policies from which to govern the school district. The Board of School Trustees consists of the following members: Mr. Brent Corder, Dr. Brooke Hawkins, Mr. TJ McAtee, Mr. Nick Toy, and Mr. Chad Way. It is also important to recognize and acknowledge the faculty and staff here at Loogootee High School and Loogootee Community School Corporation. Faculty and staff from elementary through high school work countless hours to ensure these graduates are prepared not only for this graduation day, but for the exciting challenges that lie ahead. Faculty and staff members can enjoy the pride and achievement in this 2025 graduating class. Loogootee Community School Corporation, and specifically Loogootee High School, has a long-standing tradition of academic and athletic excellence, and the class of 2025 is no exception. Through their dedication, they have continued that high-quality tradition. The final recognition regarding the achievement of these graduates today should be presented to parents and family. Hours of support, far too numerous to count, are provided by parents in preparation for this graduation day. Parents and family members, as we observe this graduating class with a mixture of pride of achievement, sadness of departure, and excitement of new challenges, let us be reminded of the commitment and dedication of these young adults to reach this graduation day. While parents knew those many years ago, when your child first set foot into a kindergarten classroom, that this graduation day would at some point become a reality, I have no doubt you may be asking yourself, where did the time go? And am I prepared as a parent for this graduation day? Please know these students are prepared for what comes next in their lives. They are prepared to make a positive impact on the world ahead of them, and we all maintain great pride in their accomplishments thus far. Dr. Harrison, Mr. Julian, and Mrs. Hawkins, by the power vested in me as superintendent by the state of Indiana, and on behalf of the Loogootee Board of School Trustees, I certify that these diplomas of the class of 2025 have met all graduation requirements as set forth by the Loogootee Community School Corporation, Loogootee High School, and the state of Indiana. I therefore confirm these diplomas and proclaim that these students gain the privileges and distinctions afforded them. Congratulations.
It's hard to put these moments into words. For so long, graduation was a far-off dream. Something we imagined during passing periods, talked about at lunch tables, and counted down to on the classroom whiteboards. And now, it's here. Not just as a date on the calendar, but as a moment overflowing with memories, meaning, and the kind of emotion that only comes from knowing that we have truly reached the end of something special. We have grown up together, walked these halls together, and tonight we sit here together for one last time, forever changed by everything we have shared. To my class, thank you for letting me be your senior class president. It has truly been my pleasure. I'm honored to have had a front row seat to the strength, kindness, and potential in each of you. Whether it's late nights cheering on your Lions in the Jack Butcher Arena, performing under the lights in the LHS auditorium, or just being a dependable presence that has helped hold this class together. Each of you has played a part in what made this class so special. As we step into what's next, I hope we trust God's plan in our lives. Even when things feel uncertain, He is always working. Our senior quote says it best: I wish there's a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually left them. I would like to challenge each of you to remember this quote throughout life, to always live in the present and cherish each and every moment. Congratulations, class of 2025. I'm so proud of us. As your class president, it is my distinct honor to lead us in one final momentous event together. So I invite you, the Loogootee High School class of 2025, to please stand. Together, Together, we complete one final task, the turning of the tassels. At this time, the seniors have planned a small celebration. If there's anyone in attendance tonight that is sensitive to loud noises, we would like to give you the opportunity to exit the gymnasium prior to the celebration.